Okay. So, this is because we're busy for the first 2 weeks. This will probably be near the end of the second week then. Yeah?
Yep.
Unless she's helping out clean out over here.
Probably not. Harkin would have cleaned up his own stuff.
He doesn't want grubby hands. I see how it is.
Doesn't want grubby hands touching all of his stuff.
My hands are not grubby,
They're long and spindly. The
but
very
not
definition
grubby.
of grubbly.
But she will peek in and see what's going on.
You can see Harkin. There's just like a pile of just broken stuff off in the corner, well, not the corner, but the side of just things that are just like there. There's like entire stands, some screens, equipment, glass, who knows what else, just all just in a pile.
Mm-hmm.
And Harkin is, sitting at one of the, setup tables. He has a couple machines running around him, and he's currently moving from one machine back to another machine, back to another machine. And when he sits down, he like types up something. Every so often, he's like, "Yeah, fuck." I mean, you can see him. He clearly, very clearly, like, presses the backspace button with a singular finger. But you know where you just take the one way and just like stab it a
Yep.
couple of times. He, he's doing that. I mean, when he goes back to his typing.
Is there any sign of the deceased bots? Were they kept?
Um, their bodies are gone.
Because I know they like completely kaboomed, so I didn't know if anything was salvageable from them.
Unfortunately, not. They have enough explosives on them that they took out that entire horde,
Oh my god. Well, I mean,
and
that's
then
good,
some.
but that was fun to clean, I bet. Woohoo!
Oh, it. Thankfully, most of the blood and guts got like sucked out when the entire airlock just exploded.
True, that did happen.
And so it became just the issue of just like hosing down the remaining blood and then like scrubbing all the burn marks.
Mm-hmm.
What was really a problem was stapling um, sheets of metal on the melter grenades and the spots where the big explosion happened.
Mm-hmm. Our poor ship.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Lauren peeks in, and she'll sidle a little closer, like, hello.
Yeah. You need to like make some like sound when you're, walking in on someone.
Oh, um, she taps her knuckles on the wall.
It's too late.
Hmm. I will remember for next time.
All right. What do you want, Lorne? You don't normally come and see me, of all people.
I just want to see how you're doing.
I am doing fine. I don't need any of your mysticism. I don't care about that.
Boop. Empathy.
What are you trying to get?
How you doing, Harkin? He said you're fine. Are you fine?
Um, from what you can tell, he seems to be fine.
From what I
He was
recall,
very,
Harkin's very hard to read.
yeah. He's hard to read. Like you only really tend to read what he wants you to read. But
Mhm.
in this case, like you're getting that he appears to be fine. He appears everything's going all right with him. There's the stress, but like the man's normally stressed.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of tension because the man's normally tense. Um, you can see there's like a bit of a low key though, like something just slightly below the surface that you're able to pick up. That's a little bit more than his normal tension and stress, but that could be equated to the fact that a lot fucking happened.
Mhm.
You're not here to like try to convince me to forgive the man child, right?
Man child?
Finn,
Finn. No, I am not
Finn.
here to do that.
All right, because I will not forgive him until he saves my life.
It spreads. I mean, he did shoot you.
Precisely. I'm entitled to my spite.
Most are.
Most people who are spiteful just do it for no fucking reason. I'm entitled to my spite in this situation.
Hmm.
There's varying degrees of spite. This time it's justified.
All right.
Now, what do you need? What do you want?
I
You don't seem a time just to like waddle on and do a little bit of house call on someone when you never interact with that someone.
That's kind of what this is. Kind of.
All right,
It was more seeing how you're doing.
all right,
How your research is doing.
all right.
And I have questions about the mist.
There we go. So, to go in order, I ain't dead. My drones died before me. I'm a little bit upset.
As am I.
They were supposed to take me out.
What? that gets a little bit of an expression from her.
Like, just like, what?
Like, oh, you're upset your drones are dead. I understand that. Oh, like, oh.
Oh, wait a second. See, I'm glad they were able to help in the defense of this here ship because if all of you died, the one person who I made a strong bond with here would have been very upset. Additionally, if all of you would have died, that means I would have died too, and that would have sucked. So I'm glad they were able to give their robotic lives in service of keeping me and thus all of you safe. However, I spent 2,000 credits on those explosives. Those explosives were supposed to kill me, Lorne.
Yes, but if they had killed you, you would not be here speaking right now.
No, but you understand, Lorne. The entire point of them was spite.
Spite
If
fuels
something
much of
had
what we
killed
work with.
me, they were supposed to blow up, taking me and whoever killed me with them. The final fuck you.
It was kind of like that.
But I'm still here.
Yes.
Thus, I'm a little bit upset. Don't worry though. I will find myself a new dead man switch. Don't
I
worry.
see.
He gives you like the deranged. He gives you the deranged thumbs up, which is literally just like a expressionless expression. The eyes are a little bit too wide, and a thumbs up, like yeah,
Uh-huh.
I got this covered.
Please ensure that does not go off preemptively.
Make sure I don't die.
Ah.
Now, I think that covers both how I'm doing and what's going on here. As for my research, eh, could be better. I have everything backed up because I'm fucking insane and I hate everyone. In that regards, it's all good. Like I didn't lose any data, but
That is good.
some of my equipment got completely fucked. So I lost some avenues of research because that's irreplaceable. You see that pile over there? You see that little stand there?
Yes.
The one with 4 spokes. One that's like a cross.
Oh, that one.
Not the
Yes.
triangle.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that one. So that used to be holding on to a $39,000 credits worth of equipment. And as you can see, the box that's kind of like just tossed there with some like cracked lenses. That's the equipment.
Now it's 39,000 worth of rubble.
Now it's just scrap. I'm keeping the pile there because like Hana is a pilferer and a garbage monkey. Then you have Finn, who is I don't know. He does shit, and then Mindy might like it,
Mm-hmm.
so they can scrap through it if they want. It's
Lorne
no
may or
use to
not be
me.
poking through it.
There's a lot of like weird little electronical bits and bobs.
Anything even potentially useful for beating?
Maybe some of the like those sparkly golden wires that you see here and there.
Hmm.
There's also like some of these like really, really thin. They're almost like hair strands, but depending upon like the light, they kind of change. There's definitely some sort of fiber wire.
She plucks those out.
All right, yeah, you're able to get those. Harkin doesn't seem to mind at all.
Hmm.
That's literally just the garbage pile. He's just like,
Yep.
if you want to go through my garbage, you're more than welcome to.
I figured since that's what you said anyways.
Yeah, like, it's not like it was in an actual dump or something.
What are these?
Besides, everyone's gone. Everyone's done it at one point or another. Everyone searched for the trash for something at one point.
Mm-hmm.
We all do it.
She holds
What?
up
What?
the
What's what?
super fine ones. What are these?
That's a glass wire.
Hmm.
How it works, I don't know. Fucking thermodynamics or something. I don't know.
I don't care how it works.
Basically, it just transmits like electricity way more efficiently.
Also very pretty.
I guess. Also, the ends are incredibly sharp, so be careful of the ends. If you want to, I guess, use it in your arts and crafts, get a blowtorch and melt the ends.
Hmm. +1 choking wear. In the meantime, I'm sure she's got something that she can stick on the ends so it isn't sharp.
Oh yeah, like it's. Have you ever worked with wire before?
Yeah, it's the
So like,
cutoff part.
yeah, so it's kind of like the thing of like, it's hard to stab yourself with it unless you try to stab yourself with it,
Hmm.
or it's one of those cases where you stab yourself with it when you go to pick it up.
Yeah.
But other than those two scenarios, it never happens.
And she'll take some of her excess supplies and just wrap the ends just to be safe. Or I guess it would be it would just wrap it in a loop and then just tape the end down so that'll keep it from poking out. She stores it safely.
You say again?
She stores it safely.
Okay, you're good.
Did it cut out there?
Oh no, someone came in the room. I had to speak to him.
Okay.
These things happen.
These things happen. Oh, let's see. Okay.
So yeah, my research goes all right.
Good. And you'll still be able to do such research as we do our thing here.
Yes, I'm going to get you people to drop off things for me once we get there.
Hmm. Is the future endeavors that
I'm going to
so?
kill the, uh, metaphorically speaking, I'm going to fuck up Haley Wright.
Hmm,
Realistically speaking, I'm going to fuck up Haley Wright. Finally, I didn't sign no NDAs.
that's correct.
They can't stop me.
More power to him.
Now, you want to ask questions about the mists?
I do.
All right. And he pauses what he was working on. He kind of turns in his chair to look towards you fully. What do you want to know?
She will find a spot to sit or stand or something. Anything really. I mean, I've
It's
never been
very
out
broad.
here.
That is incredibly broad.
Okay, I guess first question. With the breaches that we have
Yeah.
had with our ship, I had noticed that some mist had leaked in.
Yeah, that's just nebula gases.
Is that going to be an issue?
No, no. So like it's like just the gaseous form of different elements. So think of like ammonia, hydrogen, in some cases even oxygen, except not really oxygen, but the stuff like oxygen. Pure fucking carbon at times. Then you also have some like acidic stuff as well, yada yada. That's why there's some really weird acid burns in some areas of the Rossi.
Hmm.
It's because of those. But no, it's just chemical compounds.
So our filters should easily have dealt with that, so we don't have to worry.
Yeah, and when everything got sucked back out and sealed up correctly, the system was able to handle it.
Hmm.
Unless there's an unknown element that no one's ever discovered here in the mists, um, we're good.
How confident are you on that?
I'm highly confident that there's no unknown element within the mists, at least in that area of the mists.
Lorne presses F to doubt. That's her own, though. She is fairly confident that he is confident. Why are the mists in one place?
What do you mean?
What keeps it here?
Gravity.
To what?
But to better explain it, so the mists is like any nebula. It is a collection of matter from. The mists isn't actually old enough to been from the time of the Big Bang, but the mists is from multiple supernovas, basically just a star system kind of formed, and the supernova like, and then it made all this space dust and gas. And yeah, that's how nebulas get formed. In the case of the mists, it's a homogeneous nebula in the state of forming protosystems, meaning that give it another billion years, and the mists won't be the mists anymore. It'll be a collection of solar systems. At least that's what's supposed to happen. What makes the mists interesting is that it kind of ignores that part of the process. So the mist has an unusually high gravity wells scattered around it. It's part of a reason why shock space works the way it does here, where you have really efficient shock lanes through some areas and really shitty ones for other areas. It's like dog garbage and through other areas where you just can't go through because the gravity wells are wild. And because of that, rogue planets have gotten like swept into there. Entire solar systems have been swept into there, and then both solar systems get snuffed out by the mists. And yeah, it's part of why there's rogue planets floating around in here, planetoids, asteroids, you name it, just floating around in it.
Are there other mists, or is this the only place?
You mean like nebulas or like places that function like the mists?
The latter.
Okay, well, we've only discovered like the only place we've discovered like this is the mists, but we only have explored like you know 7-8% of a galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
if that, and that's the higher estimate.
Right.
But yeah, so it's the only thing we've discovered that's like it.
Out of character, do I know how big the mists are?
The mists pretty big. They're not the biggest nebula, but they're certainly like one of the bigger ones. It's also the mist is also in close to the center of human space,
Mhm.
essentially.
Okay.
So, because like for most of like known space. It's kind of like in that center-ish region, and the reason for it is because people just have to go around it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for it is because if you continue going east, you just reach the end of the galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can't really do much there. So you have to go around the
Yeah,
mists
you reach the end of
or
the
expand
galaxy, and then
outwards.
you fall off fall off the back of the turtle, and you fall off into
Yeah,
space.
yeah, that's not good. So, but yeah, the mists are pretty big. They're not the biggest nebula, but they're big.
From what I have gathered, the mists are very big.
Yep. It's a part of an. It's never part of a reason of its mysteries. The fact that it's so big and it has all these gravity wells within it that, realistically speaking, there should be like 20 something nebulas within where the mist is, and then there should be like a bunch of just clear space with solar systems because that's how gravity works. It pulls things together. But instead, it seems like the mist just stays like the mist and it slowly expands.
How is
It's
it?
very strange.
How is it that we do not know more about the mists?
Um, so most nebulas end up causing a sensory feedback, basically, because of all the chemical compounds within the nebula itself. So that fucks up with your sensor equipment. It's why you have to have incredibly specialized sensors to navigate nebulas. Now, some nebulas, like the mists, also give out electromagnetic emissions. So the entirety of the mists is positively charged. And then there's sections of the mist which are negatively charged, just to really fuck with you. And so these different chemicals that are differently charged interact with each other, and they create all sorts of hell for computer equipments. So your incredibly high-tech sensor system gets broken. So you spend several thousand, sorry, several million credits on your high-tech sensor system to tell you which way's up and which way's forward and which way's backwards in a nebula, only to go on the miss and for it to get broken. Then you give your wonderful thing EM shielding to protect it from those negative and positive charges and the discharges of that. And then on top of that, the mist then says, "Wouldn't it be funny if shock space doesn't always work reliably here?" So now you have to go incredibly slowly to, you know, traverse and explore the sections of the mist rather than doing a bunch of micro jumps as if you would anywhere else. Because instead, your micro jumps in the mist have to be at specific locations. Now, you then get your next problem. The mists are full of false readings because of the chemical compounds within the mists. There's a lot of metallic materials within mists. There's a lot of metallic meteorites. There's a lot of metallic planetoids. This causes even more problems
What
because now
problems?
you're getting false readings that there's another ship next to you, or you're getting the false reading that there's a very tiny deposit of ore in front of you and you just kind of move off to the side. No, it turns out that that's an entire like planet-sized object and you just got sucked into its gravity well and then you blow up.
Oh,
Yeah. So the main reason we haven't fully mapped out the mists because we've only mapped out the edges of it and we have a good idea of the phenomenon of how, well, not how, but what the jumps, the shock space jumps look like. We're able to accurately predict how they form and where they're going to form within some margin of errors, at least for the outskirts. So we got the outskirts down pretty well. It's just the further you in you get, the more hazardous it becomes because the denser the mist becomes. Meaning, the more, micrometeorites are scratching away your hull, the more the acids are melting into your hull, the more just crap for it is to run into. Honestly, we're incredibly deep in the mists right now, and I can almost guarantee you the helmsman on that the big ship that's connected to us, the Cossack,
Mm-hmm.
um, I almost guarantee you that those fuckers right there have someone up front with just binoculars looking out of a window or a screen trying to see if there's anything there or not, because their sensors are probably reading that there's probably nothing there, but there might be something there. In fact, they might even be using that smaller shuttle to scout out up ahead to make sure we don't crash into anything, just because of the fact that we're deeper than any scientific vessel's ever gone into, because of the fact that exploring the mists is a very expensive endeavor
Hmm.
and hazardous. And that's before you even get into, the traumas aspect of it and the fuckiness of it. Ooh, ghosts. Ooh, mental hallucinations. Oh no. And then the very, very real problem of, oh no, people have heightened aggression because people are feeling isolated because the mess produces localized signatures that we have a very hard time detecting that fuck with the human mind. Whoa. It's kind of like what were those fuckers called? Divers. Divers. So
Yes, I was just
way
considering the metaphor as well.
yeah. So if you great, you already know what they are. So there's divers, then there's deep sea divers.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reasonable explanation to deep sea dive except to do it because you can and you want to further the understanding of humanity. There's nothing to gain from it other than that. Exploring the mists is kind of the same ordeal. It's better to just avoid it and not worry about it than it is to explore it and try to worry about it.
As is the same with shock.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
Except with shock space, it's something that we use that, for everything, so it's kind of important to explore and understand.
And yet not everything is known of it.
No, because it's even harder to do anything with because it fucks up with all of your sensors and shit. Ah, that's what that expensive. You see that other box over there, the one for triangle lenses?
Mm-hmm.
They're not actually triangles, it's just the covering of triangles.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
that's 500,000 credits. That was what I was using to fucking record a shock phenomenon.
Did it?
Yes. Not very well, but at least I got something.
May I ask what it got?
A a localized temporal event.
Hmm.
Basically, it detected a space within a space that had two separate times.
Okay.
So basically, it was recording this small little localized shock rift that had opened up within the shock space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think someone fucked with it because prior to it being fucked with, um, so it showed the desk and my table, and in the temporal version of it, some of the things were slightly differently arranged. And then after someone fucked with it, it was completely different,
Hmm.
as in a third scenario was present for. So essentially, what occurred was that, according to this temporal event, things were moved about differently. It could have been another dimension. It could have been a higher dimension, a lower dimension. It could have been another fucking timeline. I don't fucking know. I just know that it was a temporal event, and it captured it. We, of course, are not able to interact with it because we're not higher dimensional beings, but the system was able to capture that something occurred. What occurred, I don't know. I have to review all the data and try to figure it out. I'm calling it a temporal event because that's what it appears to be. But until I go through my entire fucking scientific process, yada yada yada, I won't really know what it is. Um, for all I fucking know, it could literally just be a glitch, kind of like shock ghosts are a glitch. They're not actually there, but they're there.
Hmm.
Same sort of concept. It's a glitch. Right now, you just can't really explain it.
Neat.
I guess. But now it's fucking trash.
At least you're able to
Useless.
capture something.
The only bright side of it. Fucking pirates.
Yes. They destroyed a lot of things.
Mm.
If the mists have such effects on people, how would others survive out here for a length of time? Do they?
What do you mean?
What would be assumed, or my assumption at least, is um, that there's other people, as we saw with the pirates, that they're here in the mists.
So, um, most pirates try to stick within the shallows of the mists. They don't really go deeper, and the reason for that is it's just lots of shipping goes through the mists, even though they shouldn't be going through the mists. And so they wait near points where they know a ship's going to come out from, and they jump them. And then they probably fuck off to a state to like one of their hideouts that's nearby, but outside the mist. They probably don't stay here for extended periods of time. They just snatch a prey like an ambush predator. They fuck off because it's too dangerous. Because um, well, take that Elysium that we went to, right? The Ark there.
Yes.
Some dude released acid or like a pathogen or something and killed everyone because they went fucking crazy.
Your own dead man switch.
The difference is they deliberately did it to kill everyone on board their ship. I'm doing it out of spite to kill the person who kills me.
Hmm.
There's a difference there, but that's the example. Is there's probably lots of colony ships and seed ships that have gone through a mist because, well, ships went down in all directions from Terra, and one of the directions is through the mist. Well, actually, a lot of the directions are through the mists. So there's probably a lot of ships that have gone through the mists. And if they were generation ships, well, they probably didn't last that long.
You think there are others?
Oh, yeah, of course there's others, but that's the only Elysium that I know that went through the mists. The other ones were most likely much older models, not not built to be extravagant, built to just serve a purpose.
Hmm. If
Or the ones that were put together with fucking tape and grit.
bubblegum and duct tape.
Yeah.
If the mists are, well, if what they're made of is substantial and can be calculated, and obviously we have walls and we have our cogs and breathers that can filter out the mists per se, by your theory, by your understanding, why would it have effects? Why are people still affected by such things?
It's not because of chemicals. It's the some sort of emission, some sort of like it's not accurate to call a signal, but all right. So you probably have never experienced it to the same way that other people have because you're a proxy and you've been born in space, lived in space, all that fun shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you you can probably say that it felt different going under the light of another star, right?
She can confirm, yes?
Yeah. It's something where you kind of have to think about it a bit, and you're like, yeah, I guess it felt a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. She will confirm.
So that is because suns release, well, fucking anything that has a gravitational field releases different emissions, and humanity is is clocked in to accept the emissions of Terra. For us, it's really fucking weird to leave Terra for an extended period of time because that background noise that we can't even hear, we're no longer experiencing. The rapid the mutagen that was used, as he says, he was about to use the technical name for it, but he was like, no, no. The mutagen that was used to, allow humanity to adapt to their different stuff, allow them to adapt to other stars and planets' emissions. But not actually emissions, that's the best way to put it. Now,
Signals.
I wouldn't call it signal either. Emission is more accurate to what it is because it's not so much a active thing, it's just something that's always present caused by the gravitational field and several other factors. So, the mists produces those same sort of things. And it produces a lot of them. It's another one of the reasons why sensors get fucked with is because of those emissions, and those fuck with the human psyche. It's part of the entire reason why cyst is a big issue. It's because of the fact that not just humans need other fucking contact with other humans, but humanity was never meant to live in a fucking void. We we are not designed to live in the void. We are designed to live on our fucking planet and die on our fucking planet. Us living and doing shit in space is a giant middle finger to a natural order of things.
I think space
Even
is quite
spacers,
cozy.
yeah, well, even spacers like natural born spacers and Euproxians, it fucks you up to be distant and isolated and just out there doing shit. It's honestly a miracle that the Proxians survived.
You're very close knit.
It's a good thing you were. Other space-bound colonies failed for the same reasons why, localized groups end up losing their fucking shit if they remain a localized group for too long out in the middle buttfuck nowhere. It's it's the case of it only really happens in space. Like it happens elsewhere, of course, but it happens far more frequently in space. If you have 5 researchers in the middle buttfuck nowhere on a space station and have 5 researchers in the middle buttfuck nowhere isolated on a planet, those 5 researchers on the space station are more likely to kill each other than those 5 researchers on the planet, even though both of them can be completely isolated from humanity.
Maybe it's because they didn't have anything green.
You can have green stuff on a fucking space station.
Lots of green.
You can paint the walls green. It doesn't change it.
Oh, but I mean like plant green.
Yeah, you can have plants all over the place. It doesn't change it. It doesn't change the outcome. Now, you have that entire separate problem that people are so fucking denying for some stupid reason. The mists takes that very same problem and exponentially multiplies it. Because the mist is actively fucking with your subconscious and your psyche. You don't realize it, but it's happening. I've noticed in the people here in the fucking Rossi itself, people have already had slight changes in their moods and whatnot, and changes to the point where it's not exactly correlated to, oh, we got attacked by pirates. I'm a little bit bummed out by that. Other changes have occurred.
What changes?
I'm, uh, some people have started to develop symptoms of cis, and then other people have started to have very localized mood changes. So, I'll use an example of Amanda. Amanda is a very outgoing individual. She's a very friendly individual. She's also someone who has incredibly strong maternal instincts. Now,
Yes.
Amanda has been exhibiting signs of those personality traits being exemplified. I'm sure right now she's in probably the early stages of it, but hypothetically speaking, 5 months down the line, we're still in the midst. Those symptoms will be continued to grow and change and shift. Her psyche will continue to get affected and altered and warped, and it'll get to the point where some of these things are being played up by how her psyche is being affected, because everyone's psyche is differently affected by this shit. It's what makes it so fucking hard to study, because everyone reacts to it fucking differently, and it's fucking atrocious. Now, her psyche being septibly altered over an extended period of time, assuming she doesn't just have a snapping point in there, which is incredibly likely and something that can just happen randomly, and it's fucking makes it even harder to fucking gauge. Oh god,
Of
fucking
what
damn.
point?
So basically, there's a minute chance, except it might not be minute. It might be like for data points are hard to cover, but basically someone could be just exhibiting minor symptoms and signs of being affected by the mists, and then one day they just snap, go homicidal, and then after they finish being homicidal, they go right back to how things were seconds ago before snapping, and they don't realize what they did. It doesn't even compute what the fuck just happened. It is one of the many things that's connected to cis, but exemplified in fucking the mist, where homicidal tendencies skyrocket.
Oh,
Aggression skyrockets. At the end of the day, we're just really, really evolved animals. That's all we are. And the mists plays into our primal instincts. So, some people just fucking snap and kill. Some people snap and run away. Some people snap and then, well, that's those ones aren't proper for polite company. But anyways, that's like the chance thing. The actual thing that I was getting into was the symptoms continue to change at such a slow rate in many cases that others don't notice the gradual change, because it's not something that all happens overnight. And then those other people are also being affected by it too, so they don't realize something's amiss. They don't realize a change is occurring.
out of character. 'Cause I don't remember. We've had Harkin and we've had the other people for a while now. Does Harkin know about Joy Minerva?
Um,
Don't remember. Don't think
I don't
so.
think he's ever been explicitly told.
Okay.
He knows something's up, but he's never pried.
He's also never been on that side of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. And he wasn't even fixed up by Joy either. That was Rye, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Lorne has thinky face. And everyone would react. In time.
No. And that's the other part about it that makes it fucking hard to dictate is that the current samples that we have to work off of, some people just don't get affected by it.
Hmm.
And it's literally impossible to say why. First we thought it was genetics, but if it's genetics, it has to be something that we just don't fucking know about because of the fact that you can have an entire family lineage of people, and one of those people doesn't get affected, but everyone else does.
And there's research that already has concluded that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it also gets to the fucking problem that animals, for the most part, don't exhibit these symptoms,
Oh, good.
except for incredibly intelligent animals.
So mouse should be fine.
Yes, your mouse has too small of a brain to be affected.
It's a cute brain.
No, it's just a brain. There's no such thing as a cute or a not cute brain. It's just brains. So yeah, Mist's fucked.
Well, unfortunately, you have, or I guess, fortunately for you and unfortunately for other people, you have a ship full of subjects to study. Oh my god, I'm getting called spam.
Oh. Well, I don't really need to study the how it affects people because that's not what I care about. I care about finding a way to just stop it. Knowing how it affects people, while important, is far less important than finding a way to stop it from affecting people.
And that's what your research is.
Yes. It's my hope that I can use different emissions to cancel out these emissions to protect people from it. Kind of like how you'll use lower frequency sounds to cancel out higher frequency sounds or louder sounds so that you can have proper noise canceling gear. It all happens automatically, you don't even realize it's happening. Same concept, except a little bit different in how it functions.
Question.
You have a lot of those.
I do. What brought you to pursue this subject?
Simple. I was a part of a fucking research team that initially was initially researching the survival rates of people in the mists.
That's it?
Yep. I'm a psychologist I was initially a psychologist. That's where my area of expertise were, and I was put on the team, and we discovered shit's fucked. And when we published our findings, the company was like, "We're gonna put those in the vault." And we're like, "Oh, all right." And they're like, "Go do this research." And we're like, "Oh, okay." And we did it, and then we were like, "Okay, here's this research. We're gonna put that in the vault too." We're like, "What do you mean? This shit's important." And so that's why I do what I do, because of the fact that shit's fucked. More people need to be aware of the dangers of the mists, the dangers of shock space, and the dangers of fucking space travel in general.
I'm gonna drop kick and empathy there. Watch out. Sees how genuine he is with this drive.
Seems pretty genuine. Very much a case of like there might be more to why he did it, but 1 second. Was the right one? Nah. So there's probably more to why it is, but this does very much seem to be like a big driving force of why he's doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he thinks this is the right course of action.
To pursue such a thing in the face of adversity, that is an admirable thing.
Well, someone has to fucking do it.
True. You're doing well.
I just do what I do.
Just imagine him, like, if he had suspenders, just snapping them, like...
Probably.
Well, thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, no problem.
If I have any more, I may come and bother you again.
All right.
I'll say hi to Mindy for you.
All right.
And out she go. After she grabs one more string of a glass string. So yeah, I think that one is good.
Alrighty.
Cool, thank you. Nice lore dump there.